Supervisor Wiener.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to thank the Rules Committee for its diligent work in evaluating the candidates and making recommendations to the full board. And I think for the most part, with one exception, the Rules Committee did an exceptional job. The Sunshine Ordinance and transparency in government in general is incredibly important. And it is equally important that we have a Sunshine Ordinance task force that has both the credibility and the ability and the willingness to administer this ordinance in a way that improves transparency in our government and improves accountability. Unfortunately, the current Sunshine Ordinance Task Force has not done that and frankly has undermined both the ordinance and transparency in government. And it's done it in several ways. And I will note that if you even look at the reaction of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force to the audit that I had requested the budget analyst to do, it was just an extraordinary response. Instead of acknowledging that the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, like every other body in government, is subject to the Sunshine Ordinance and subject to scrutiny and subject to audit just like any other department, the response was, "How dare you? How dare you shine sunlight on us?" Well, the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force is subject to sunshine just like anyone else, and that reaction, frankly, is so telling about the dysfunctionality of the current composition of the task force. But it goes deeper than that. This task force purported to exempt itself from the San Francisco Charter. Our charter is very clear that any body in this city, whether you're the Board of Supervisors or the Planning Commission or the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, that when you vote, in order to take action, you must have a majority of all members of the body vote in favor, not a majority of those present. The Sunshine Ordinance Task Force amended its bylaws to state that it was exempting itself from that requirement and that going forward, only a majority of those present would have to vote. Well, think for a second. If this board, if we adopted a rule, if we started voting based on those present, even if it wasn't a majority of the whole body, guess what? Someone would file a sunshine request with the Sunshine Task Force, and the Sunshine Task Force would conclude that we had committed official misconduct and would probably make a referral to the DA and the Ethics Commission. Well, that is exactly what the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force did. And frankly, that was official misconduct in my personal view. The audit that the budget analyst conducted also had an extraordinary finding, a finding that on average, city employees had to spend 1.9 task force hearings to get complaints against them adjudicated. So on average, city employees had to go approximately twice to the task force. They couldn't go the first time and get it done, and that was the average, meaning that there are times when they were going more than 2 times. That is not acceptable. It creates enormous inefficiencies. The task force needs to be able to manage its calendar, which it has not done. So I think that the Rules Committee did a very good job in terms of selecting smart, good, hardworking people who can come and give a fresh perspective and resuscitate this task force. But there was one recommendation of the Rules Committee with which I don't agree, and that is the recommendation to reappoint Bruce Wolf to seat 8. I believe that a change should be made in that seat as well. I think this task force needs a fresh start. Mr. Wolf has been part of the task force when all of these things have happened. And so I move to amend the recommendation for seat 8 to remove Bruce Wolf and to add another applicant, Todd David.
Supervisor Wiener has made a motion to amend. This would be file number 120553. Is there a second to that amendment? Seconded by Supervisor Farrell. Any further discussion? Supervisor Campos.